mubyeyi urifuza guteganyiriza umwana wawe ejo heza, gana mu mashuri ya apejerwa ariyo Lycée de Ruhango-IKIREZI hamwe na Emeru Intwari. Muri Lycée de Ruhango-IKIREZI tubafitiye amashami akurikira: Culinary Art cyangwa se ibijyanye n'ubutetsi, hari level 1, level 3, level 4 ndetse na level 5. Food and Beverage Services tubafitiye level 3, level 4 ndetse na level 5. Tubafitiye kandi accounting cyangwa se ibaruramari level 3, level 4 ndetse na level 5. Tubafitiye n'ubukanishi bw'amamodoka mu byiciro bikurikira: Auto Engine Technology level 3, Auto Transmission and Control System Technology level 4, Automobile Transmission and Control System Technology level 5. Tubafitiye n'ubwubatsi Masonry level ya 3, level ya 4 ndetse na level ya 5. Tubafitiye Tourism ubukerarugendo level ya 3, iya 4 ndetse n'iya 5. Turabibutsa ko tubafitiye n'ikiciro rusange Tonkome. Naho muri Emeru Intwari tubafitiye amashami y'umwaka umwe akurikira: Automotive Technology ubukanishi bw'amamodoka level ya mbere, Hairdressing ubwiza no gutunganya umusatsi level ya mbere, Tailoring ubudozi level ya mbere, Masonry ubwubatsi level ya mbere. Muri aya mashuri yombi tubafitiye abarimu b'inzobere harimo n'abaturuka hanze y'igihugu. Tubafitiye kandi n'amacumbi y'abakobwa ndetse n'ay'abahungu. Abanyeshuri bacu bakora ingendo shuri mu gihugu ndetse no hanze yacu. Tubaha umwanya wo kwimenyereza umwuga mu bigo bijyanye n'ibyo biga. Dukorera kandi graduation abanyeshuri basoje amasomo yabo. Aya mashuri aherereye mu mujyi wa Ruhango hafi ya gare. Ku bindi bisobanuro mwaduhamagara kuri 0788366219 cyangwa se 0722356668. Mwanaduhamagara kandi kuri 0788366213 cyangwa se 0788202282. Mwanadusura kuri website y'ishuri www.apejerwa.ac.rw. Umurimo ukozwe neza utuma batugirira icyizere.
Good morning everybody. We are in Lycée de Ruhango-IKIREZI. My name is Hagengimana Jean d'Amour, a trainer in Automotive Transmission and Control System Technology Department. So today we are going to continue for learning our module. As a student of level 5, you are still on the module which is called repair of injection pump and injectors. So, module name is repair of injection pump and injectors. So, dear student, as you have seen in the beginning, I've seen what is the description of fuel supply system for compression ignition engine. I've told you that if you say fuel supply system for compression ignition engine, means the way the feeding system, it means that the feeding system, how the fuel will come from the fuel tank up to the injectors, where the fuel will be injected, yes. So, as you have seen, I've told you about direct injection system. In direct injection system, I've told you that is the way the fuel is directly injected in the combustion chamber. So, in the direct injection system, I've told you about the direct injection engine. I've talked about direct injection engine, where they have used what's called classic. I've talked about classic direct injection system. I've talked about classic injection system. In classic direct injection system, I've talked about how the fuel will come from the reservoir up to the injectors without intervention of ECU controlled by EC, but it will be done mechanically. We have seen that we have a fuel tank. If you remember where we have tank. Yes, this tank, I've told you that is the storage of fuel. After tank, we must have a lift pump lift pump, it have the function of sucking the fuel from the tank and transferring it to the other component of this circuit. So we have also told about the filter. You must have a filter. This filter has the function of removing the impurities in the fuel. Yes, remove the impurities in the fuel. Then after, you must have injection pump. Injection pump. This injection pump, as our model is saying, it is here for pressurizing, increasing the pressure of the fuel, so that the fuel will be injected in the combustion chamber with high pressure. Then after we have seen that, after this injection pump, we must have injectors. Yes, injectors. I have told you that this injection pump must have the pipes comparing with the number of injectors. It means that for direct injection system, the number of injectors must be proportional to the number of cylinders, depend on the number of cylinders of the engine. So it means that here we'll have the pipes which are proportional to the number of injectors. Yes. So this lift pump, it is controlled. It has mechanical control. So as this injection pump, it has also mechanical control. So this lift pump, because it is not work as the injection pump, from here up to the injection pump, you must have low pressure pipeline. Yes, means that you don't have high pressure, because this lift pump has the function of sucking the fuel from the tank up to the injection pump. So from injection pump, here you must have high pressure pipeline, because the fuel which will be inside of those pipes, we must have high pressure because of the operating principle of this injection pump. So I think you will understand, you will remember what you have seen about this classic injection pump. After classic injection pump, we have talked about common relay. We have talked about common relay injection system. I've talked about common relay injection system. If you have this common relay injection system, means that there is intervention of computer which will control our systems. Yes, we must have intervention of ECU, electronic control unit. Here we have seen that for this common relay, also you must have tank, because every vehicle must have the reservoir where the fuel will be stored. So we have reservoir. This inside of this reservoir must have pre-supply pump. Must have pre-supply pump. This pre-supply pump has the function as for this lift pump, because by this one it is immersed in the reservoir. Yes, it has the function of sucking the pressure or pressurize with low pressure from the reservoir up to the other component. Here you must have filter with regulator, filter with regulator. This filter also has the function of removing the impurities, yes, but the regulator has the function of keeping the pressure constant in the system. Then after, Then after, you have high pressure pump. High pressure pump. This high pressure pump is controlled mechanically. It has also mechanical control. But this one, it is controlled electronically. That's the reason why here you must have ECU. We have told you that this E means electronic control unit. It is here for controlling all the system or other devices which will need electrical signal for operating. Yes. So after high pressure pump, because we are on common relay injection system, we must have a common relay. This is a common relay. Common relay. This is a common relay. This common relay, it must have, it is therefore accumulating. The accumulating fuel with at high pressure. So it will accumulate the fuel at high pressure. Then after, we will have injectors. We will have injectors, yes. Injectors. So the fuel which will be inside those injectors will come from common relay. Means that this common relay also, it will be controlled by ECU. Even if, because depending on injection sequence, means that this common relay will be need to inject the fuel according to the injection sequence. Means that if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, those are the number of cylinders. Means that the injection sequence will be done. It is 1, 4, 3, 2. Yes, 1, 4, 3, 2, or 1, 3, 40, only 1, 3, 42. Means that that's the injection sequence. Sometimes that the common relay will order for operating or let the fuel into the injectors. All of those are injectors. Yes. I think you will remember how those are this one. And those injector will open it by electrical signal given by electronic control unit. That's the reason why we must have a connection of those injector to the electronic control unit. So even those one, sometime we will need return pipe. That is the reason why those are return pipe which will turn the fuel to the reservoir. So I think you will remember how this fuel supply system is work even for the classic direct injection system with common relay direct injection system. So we have also seen those components by using workshop, where you have seen the tank, the pump, or the pipes, how they look like. So do you remember that I have told you that the next session we will see how the operating principle, how the injection pump is look like, or the description of injection pump. So the topic for today is description of inline injection pump. This is the topic for for today. The description of inline injection pump. Meaning that we are going to see the description of the injection pump in general, but especially only inline injection pump. So, at the end of this topic, means that at the end of this session, every student will be able to define what is injection pump, what is inline injection pump, what are the types of injection pump, what is the operating principle of injection pump. Even if every learners will be able to describe the functions of injection pump. Yes? Objectives. Let us see the objectives. Objectives of the session. I have told you that every learner will be able to define injection pump, especially inline injection pump. Yes. So we'll see also to describe the types of injection pump. Types of injection pump. Also, we'll see the function of injection pump. We'll see also the operating principle. Operating principle. If you say operating principle, it's like the working principle of any devices. How is it work? So, as definition, injection pump, it is a mechanical device. Yes, it is a mechanical device which is therefore pressurizing the fuel, or to give the fuel at high pressure. Yes, it is therefore pressurizing the fuel in the system. Yes. So this inline injection pump that you are going to talk about today, it is also one of the types of injection pump, which has the number of the cylinder, so the number of plunger which are arranged in line. Yes. So I think you are understanding what injection pump is. It is a mechanical device which is up for pressurizing, to give the pressure of the fuel, to keep the fuel at high pressure. Yes? So, let us see the types. Types of injection pump. Types of injection pump. If the types of injection pump that are being used in the diesel, even if those vehicle which has the diesel engine, especially for have mechanical ones, or which are others which are electronic. So we see that we have the one is the inline injection pump. Yes, this is the one. You have also the rotary injection pump. Rotary injection pump. We have high pressure pump. High pressure pump. Yes. This inline injection pump, it is used. Let us start from inline injection pump. Inline injection pump. This inline injection pump is used for direct injection and indirect injection in the system. Means that for direct it will be used, even if indirect it will be also used. So, but this rotary injection pump, this rotary injection pump, it is also used for indirect injection. Meaning that if you say indirect injection, as I have told you before, it is where the fuel is injected outside of the combustion chamber, sometimes in the tubeless chamber or pre-chamber. So those high pressure pump, it is used for common ray injection, direct injection system. Yes, common ray means that it will be used for those one which have the ECU in the system, which has the ECU for controlling the pressure, for controlling the operating pressure or the working pressure of other devices. So, because our topic is based on the description of inline injection pump, so let us see first of all the operating principle of this inline injection pump. Yes, operating principle of inline injection pump. Those inline injection pump, its operating principle, it is based on the plunger stroke. The operating principle for this inline injection pump is based on the plunger stroke phase. Is based on plunger stroke phases. These plunger stroke phases, we have three phases. We have three phases. The first phase, it is intake phase. The first is intake phase. This intake phase, it is when the fuel is entering we say this intake phase when the fuel is entering into the chamber of plunger, in the cylinder, the chamber of plunger of the injection pump, this inline injection pump, where we have a plunger. This is a plunger. This plunger must have a vertical groove. Yes, a vertical groove with helix. This is vertical groove. This is helix. So here you must have intake passager, have outlet. This is the plank side of the cylinders. Yes, as you see. This is you have roller. Then you have a cam. Yes. So when the fuel is in this intake port, this is intake port, inlet port, outlet port. Means that whenever the fuel is entering inside of this chamber, means that you have intake phase. Means that the fuel is entering in the chamber of this plunger. Means that this is the inside of inline injection pump. So the motion of this plank is downward motion. Yes, means that whenever the piston or this plunger, it is not called the piston, it is called the plunger, move downward, has the motion of downward. Means that there is a creation of, it will let the fuel entering in this chamber. Means that you have intake phase. So the second one, second is preliminary phase. Preliminary phase. This preliminary phase, as the plunger moves upward, it starts to move upward, means that the pressure it will close. It will close the inlet port, and means that the fuel will be held. It will be broken inside of the chamber. So means that here we have inlet port, and then the plunger start to move upward. This is a plunger, yes. Plunger, you have a groove, you have also a helix, yes, you have outlet, up, yes, you have with the here roller, you have a cam. So this is outlet port. Here we have inlet port. Yes. So we have the motion of our plunger. This is a plunger. This is vertical groove and helix. So when the motion of plunger starts to go from bottom to the center of the cylinder up to the top to the center, it means that it will start to close the inlet. It means that there is no entering of fuel passage. The inlet passage of the fuel will be closed. It means that the fuel which has been entered before will be held inside of this cylinder, even if in the vertical groove of the plunger. So it will create somehow a pressure because of compression. Because of compression of that fuel, the pressure will be raised up. So we have another in the fed. We have a fed phase, which is delivery phase. Delivery phase means that because this inline injection pump, it is therefore increasing the pressure to give the fuel to put the fuel at high pressure for giving him operation. So for delivering this fuel, we need a fuel which is being pressurized. So that's the reason why I've told you that for this preliminary phase, whenever the plunger started to move up, they will create a pressure upward of the plunger. When it continues to raise up, the pressure will be increased because the compression, it will also be raised up. So in this delivery valve, it is where the fuel will be pressurized and put out of, and the delivery valve open, and the pressure will be, the fuel will be transmitted to the injectors. It is only why, as the plunger for the move up toward the fuel pressurized will be transmit from the injection pump up to the injector. That's the reason why we have inlet port here, we have outlet port, you have our plunger here, our plunger with a vertical groove, So have roller with a cam. So this is a cylinder, yes. Cylinder means that when the piston, this plunger, yes, this plunger reaches up to top to the center, it will start the delivery. Yes, delivery. So when we are going to deliver, when we want to deliver, in order to make a fuel being delivered, we have to, this plunger must have a linear motion, means that linear motion will be caused by the motion. Here, this is the camshaft. Yes, this linear motion will be given by this cam and rotary motion. Rotary motion. For having that rotary motion, we must have what is called control lock and control sleeve. This control lock and control sleeve has the function of making this plunger, to give this plunger the rotary motion. So, for giving this plunger a rotary motion, it will need to make this helix with what called the speed pot. Yes? Whenever this helix wheel has a total connection of a speed pot, means that we will have a full delivery or maximum delivery. That is the reason why for delivering this fuel, we'll have what is called the first phase of delivering, phases of delivering. We have the first one is zero delivery. The zero delivery. If there is zero delivery, it is when there is no connection from helix and speed pot. Means that there is no delivery. So whenever the piston, as I have told you in the primary phase, whenever the piston started to move up, it will move up as a linear motion, and the control lock will start to make a rotation of this helix. Means that at some time the helix still somehow be connected with connection of speed pot. Means that in zero delivery, means that this is a speed pot. Suppose that this is a speed pot. This is helix. This is helix. This is helix. Means that here there is no connection. There is no connection of helix and the speed pot. Means that here we have zero delivery. Yes, zero delivery means that if you have a speed pot here and speed pot, as I have told you, speed pot. Here we have helix. Whenever there are no connection together, means that we have zero delivery. Means that there is this helix. It is where the fuel is headed. I have told you that in intake phase. Intake phase is where the fuel will come from the inlet passage and being headed inside of cylinder housing of plunger. So means that after inlet intake phase, I've told you about the preliminary phase where the plunger will cross the inlet passage for here, and then there is fuel which is inside of plunger, inside of this plunger which has been headed inside of this chamber, and means that here in the helix because of the closure of the plunger, means that there is some fuel which is keep pressurized in the plunger in that vertical groove, so as in the helix. That means that here in the helix there is somehow fuel which is pressurized. So when there is no connection together of this speed pot and helix, that means that there is no delivery. Means that is the zero delivery. So after zero delivery, sometimes because of the rotation of the camshaft, so as the motion of control lock, somehow this speed pot will be somehow connected together with helix. Yes, have helix. This is speed pot. Speed pot. Here we have helix. Helix. Do you see? We don't have maximum. Yes? Here, we don't have maximum delivery. Means that, you know that whenever, depending on the speed of the vehicle, yes? Depending of the speed of the vehicle, it will caused by the amount of fuel which is being consumed. Yes? If you are on high speed, it means that you are consuming high fuel. If you are on low speed, it means that there is a little fuel which is being consumed. Means that it will depend on the size of speed pot and helix which is being connected together. Yes? Dear student, do you know that this helix, in order to make it connected together with speed pot, it will depend on the control column motion. Yes? I've told you that control column motion. This control column that I have told, the control lock and control sleeve are meshed together. Yes? You have control lock. It has the teeth like this. This is control lock. Control lock. Those are the teeth for control lock. Teeth for control lock. Yes. Here you must have control sleeve. Yes. And then after control sleeve, it is where it is connected to the plunger. It connected to the plunger. Yes. Means that this control lock, it is here we have a control. It is connected to get to the control collar. Means that control collar, it is also connected together to the accelerator pedal. Means that whenever the drive is pressed the accelerator pedal, it will cause the motion of this. It means the motion of this control lock. And whenever this control lock moves right or back, it will cause the rotary motion of this plunger. Yes? If this plunger make that rotary motion, it will make the connection of helix and speed pot. That's the reason why sometimes we move speedily at high speed or at low speed, depending on the amount of fuel which is being delivered. Yes? So we will have also a maximum delivery. Maximum delivery. We said that you have a maximum delivery when the helix and speed pot are full connected together. Means that here we have an helix. We have an helix. Then here we have a speed pot. A speed pot. Means that when the helix it is connected together to the speed pot, it means that you have a maximum delivery. That is where we have a maximum speed of the vehicle. That is inline injection pump because the number has the number of cylinders. Suppose that this is inline injection pump. Inline injection pump. So means that, do you see that the plunger of this inline injection pump means that inside of this one there is plungers. Those plunger they have the number. If you have 4 plungers, means that our engine has also 4 cylinders with 4 pistons. So every plungers must have its vertical grooves, as I told you, and helix. So means that here it must be connected to must have here a camshaft a camshaft. A camshaft means that this camshaft is one of which will give those plunger linear motion. And here we must have a control lock. This control lock, I've told you that it will give the rotary motion of those plungers. So when those plungers, because of their motion, linear one and the rotary one, that is the reason why sometimes we will have zero delivery and maximum delivery. So I think that you were understanding how the operating principle of this inline injection pump is working. So because we are still on the module which is called the repair for injection pump and injectors, we must deal on how we repair injection pump and how we repair those injectors. So for understanding the description of inline injection pump, we are going to see a video. That video will show you how all those components that I have told you look like, and how they must be repaired. Means that disassemble of injection pump and how it will reassemble them. So you will see how it does operating principle. I've told you about the motion, linear motion, so as a rotary motion. Means that during watching that video, you will see how the inline injection pump will operate. So as I have told you, this is inline injection pump. That component, it was a control lock which was moving. So do you see that is disassembled? Those are the chambers. I have told you that the number of chambers are corresponding to the number of cylinders. This side is where we fix the governor. Do you see that? So during starting, while you are going to start with plunger and barrel assembly, while you are going to assemble the component, so you take that plunger and fit it in their chamber, means the cylinders. So then after fixing it, you have checked if it has well fitted. So after that, you take a delivery valve assembly which is being well cleaned. Do you know that you must clean them in order to prevent them damaged? So after fitting that delivery valve assembly, you must clean it with diesel and lubricating them. So you take compression spring with filler piece, and you fit them above of delivery valve assembly, and you try to tighten it with your fingers or your hand. Then after being tightening with your hand, you must use corresponding tools. Yes. So after that, you must select other devices or other component. So you take another, which is control sleeve. Do you know control sleeve must be fitted with a control lock in order to give rotary motion our plunger. Yes, you will start control sleeve and mesh it with control lock. Do you see that they are moving together, and then they can give a rotary motion our plunger. So do you remember that I've told you that you must have rotary motion of plunger and linear motion of plunger in order to have zero delivery. So then after you must fix the slotted washer. Slotted washer must be, after slotted washer, you must fix the compression spring below slotted washer. So do you know that spring must help us to increase the compression? They increase the compression because of when you push them with high pressure or high forces, then after compression spring, you must fit a plunger, and we've also a certain washer below, which must be fixed that, or which will help us to compress our compression spring. So, and you must remember to clean them
to clean them and lubricating them in order to make them well operated. So do you see that component? We have talked about them, where the camshaft will push up or push down. So do you see, you must fit them well and clean them. Do you see, those are called the shim tappet, if you have seen. Shim tappet, that you say that roller, it is where the cam of the camshaft will push in order to move up, to move down upward of the plunger and downward of the plunger because of the location of the cam or the position of the cam. So you have to fit it or insert it with using your finger. That is the shim tappet. Yes, you can try to fit it well by using your fingers. You must clean your hand while you are fitting those devices of injection pump, because sometimes if you have not clean your hand well or clean those devices, you can destroy them. So after that, you can use tools for inserting or fitting it or tightening in their cavity or their hole. Yes. So do you see? You must use the tools, some tools for fixing that shim tappet. That shim tappet, it is where the camshaft will push in order to give a linear motion of the plunger, and then you must fit. And during fitting that shim tappet, it is where we are compressing the compression spring. Then after, on the slot washer, there is a hole which will help us to fix or to hold the compression spring, which will help us to compress or to hold the compression spring during assembling that compression spring or other devices which are held or which are fitted in the inline injection pump housing. So after holding it, but by using that compression holder, you must remove your tools which have you used during fitting that shim tappet, and then you check if that tappet is rolling well. Then after, you take your camshaft, you set that camshaft and put in their cavity with their covers. Do you see that camshaft has also well cleaned? Means that there is no impurities on that camshaft which can destroy the smooth edge of the inline injection pump. And then you clean that space, that smooth edge of the housing, and then you tighten the cover on the housing of the inline injection pump. Do you see that? You must well tighten by first of all using your hand. Yes, in order to prevent the misalignment of your camshaft. Then after, yes, do you see that? That is the bearing. Then after, you take the cover and use the corresponding tools for tightening those bolts of cover in order to connect well on the housing of an injection pump. So then, do you see that every component has been fitted on then you compress the spring in order to remove the spring holder. Do you see that those holders are being removed, and then you check, do you see the motion of compression spring? Means that, do you see that some of moving upward and other downward depending on the position of the camshaft? Then you must tighten where the flyweight assembly. Do you see that the governor is located? I've told you that the governor is there for controlling the minimum speed and the maximum speed of the engine. So then after you must test your injection pump. Do you see that the fuel is being delivered by passing through the delivery valve port? So I think that you were understanding how inline injection pump it is. Is it working? I've told you that it has the function of compressing or increase the pressure of the fuel. And then after repairing and installing them and testing them, you must fit it on the engine where is it located and connect the cables and other devices which will help us to transmit or to supply the fuel in the engine.
So in the beginning, I have told you that at the end of this session, we will be able to understand how the function, what is the definition of an inline injection pump or injection pump. Dear student, I have told you that an injection pump is there. It is there for increasing the pressure or pressurizing the fuel in order to make a vehicle moving. Yes. So we have told you that we will be able to differentiate the types of injection pump. We have seen inline injection pump, which is being used for direct injection source and direct injection of depending on the system that is being used on the vehicle. I've told you about rotary injection pump. Sometimes it is called distributor pump, where it is used for direct injection pump. We will see also how is it working. We have seen also the high pressure pump, where we have seen that high pressure pump will be used for those vehicles which is use common rail system. Means that if those want is where they use electronic control system, which is therefore controlling the function of the opening and closing of the system, the component which will help us to transmit the fuel pass through inside of them in order to make a vehicle feeding. So I've told you that we'll be able to explain how the operating principles of this inline injection pump. I've told you that this inline injection pump is based on plunger stroke phases. That plunger stroke phases, it is where the fuel will come from, means that we will have inlet passage, which is therefore let the fuel enter into the chamber of plunger. Means that it is how the fuel will reach to the chamber of injection pump. That's the first phase that you have seen, which is called intake phase. I've told you about the preliminary phase. I've told you that whenever the plunger starts to move upward, it will close the inlet passage. Then, after that, the pressure will be increased because of the compression of fuel which has been admitted during intake phase. Dear student, I have seen also the delivery phase. That delivery phase, I have seen it is where the fuel will be delivered. Yes, because we need to feed the fuel from the injection pump to the injectors. So, after that, we have seen that during delivering that fuel, we have zero delivery where there is no delivery, but the fuel has been held in the chamber of plunger, and you have seen how we have a maximum delivery. So, dear student, let us see how, if the fuel is achieved to the injectors, how it will look like in the operating principle of the injectors, so as how they look like. Dear student, I want to tell you that next session we will see how the injectors look like, the function of injectors, what is the injectors, the operating principle of injectors, the types of injectors, and how the operating principle of injectors is being done on the compression ignition engine. I still tell you that we are on the repair of injection pump and injectors as the model of student of level 5. So you will with your trainer in automotive transmission and control system from Reassemble RUHANGO-IKIREZI. My name is Hagengimana Jean d'Amour. My contact number are 0788931137. So thank you for your kind attention.
Mubyeyi urifuza guteganyiriza umwana wawe ejo heza, gana mu mashuri ya apejerwa ariyo Reassemble RUHANGO-IKIREZI hamwe na Emeru Intwari. Muri Reassemble RUHANGO-IKIREZI tubafitiye amashami akurikira: culinary art cyangwa se ibijyanye n'ubutetsi, hari level 1, level 3, level 4 ndetse na level 5. Food and beverage services tubafitiye level 3, level 4 ndetse na level 5. Tubafitiye kandi accounting cyangwa se ibaruramari level 3, level 4 ndetse na level 5. Tubafitiye n'ubukanishi bw'amamodoka mu byiciro bikurikira: auto engine technology level 3, auto transmission and control system technology level 4, automobile transmission and control system technology level 5. Tubafitiye n'ubwubatsi masonry level ya 3, level ya 4 ndetse na level ya 5. Tubafitiye tourism ubukerarugendo level ya 3, iya 4 ndetse n'iya 5. Turabibutsa ko tubafitiye n'icyiciro rusange tonkome. Naho muri Emeru Intwari tubafitiye amashami y'umwaka umwe akurikira: automotive technology ubukanishi bw'amamodoka level ya mbere, hairdressing ubwiza no gutunganya umusatsi level ya mbere, tailoring ubudozi level ya mbere, masonry ubwubatsi level ya mbere. Muri aya mashuri yombi tubafitiye abarimu b'inzobere harimo n'abaturuka hanze y'igihugu. Tubafitiye kandi n'amacumbi y'abakobwa ndetse n'ay'abahungu. Abanyeshuri bacu bakora ingendo shuri mu gihugu ndetse no hanze yacyo. Tubaha umwanya wo kwimenyereza umwuga mu bigo bijyanye n'ibyo biga. Dukorera kandi graduation abanyeshuri basoje amasomo yabo. Aya mashuri aherereye mu mujyi wa Ruhango hafi ya gare. Ku bindi bisobanuro mwaduhamagara kuri 0788366219 cyangwa se 0722356668. Mwanaduhamagara kandi kuri 0788366213 cyangwa se 0788202285. Mwanadusura kuri website y'ishuri www.apejerwa.ac.rw. Umurimo ukozwe neza utuma batugirira icyizere.